Today I'm going to show you my cool new 3-in-1 gadget that goes on a motorcycle. This is the HC50 from HFK, a navigation dash cam system for your motorcycle. You may have seen the review I did on the last gadget that I mounted on the T7. Before that, you might have seen the review I did on the camera system, the dash cam system that I mounted on my Tiger. But today I have a new replacement gadget. A 3-in-1 system, navigation, communication, dash cam, tire pressure monitor, podcast, and music controller. So I guess it's really a 5-in-1 system, I guess. But let's get this thing mounted up. A quick review of this HFK navigation and dash cam system. It's pretty cool. I've been riding around with one similar device for the last year, and that was an okay device. I really appreciated having something that's waterproof. I don't have to worry about getting wet. I don't have to worry about it shaking apart. And when this company reached out to me and said, "Hey, you want to take a look at this?" I was like, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do," because I love gadget. All right, when you first fire it up, you'll go through a boot screen. And this is the boot screen. It boots up pretty fast. And the default screen is the navigation computer. And very shortly, it will boot into what I'm running, which is Android Auto. It also it'll run through CarPlay, the Apple version. But this is an incredibly useful screen here. And I didn't know how awesome this would be until I started using it. But yeah, so you've got a real navigation instrument here, a compass, and this red ring rotates so you could tell your direction of travel. Right now we're pointed directly north at 0 degrees. Let's get into the Android. I did ask the question, are you still using your $1,500 phone? I think that's what iPhones are going for nowadays, and I know Samsung's got a really expensive thing, and honestly I think I navigated probably 10-15 years with my phone mounted on my handlebars. And yeah, I get it, it's you can do everything except the dash cams with your phone, and a lot of people don't understand how these devices actually work. They Bluetooth through your phone. So basically you're using your phone anyway, but you can plug them up in your tank bag or in a top case and have them charging going down the road. And you can have all the functionality that you have on your phone without your phone being exposed and having it shaken, the component shaken to death. Yeah, it's a really good option, I think. Unless you're actually really navigating like out in the desert, this compass may not be that big of a deal to you, but you got all kinds of other information on here, elevation, just like a regular old school GPS device, which a lot of guys still use those old school devices. It's usually old school guys. But yeah, say like a Garmin device still has the ability to pop into that screen, I believe. But yeah, and of course when you want to go navigate, and there's a really great menu here to adjust your settings. The only thing I haven't been able to do is change the tire pressure from bars, which is what it's reading now, to PSI. But I don't really care. I set it. I went on Google and figured out what the equivalent is. Like I set my low alarm on both tires at 28 pounds. So it's not that big of a deal. But there's all kinds of menu items in here that you can adjust. And I'm sure they'll probably update that at some point. But here's the kicker right here. Boom, I got front and rear cameras, and that's essentially what that is a nice big wide rear view in case you want to check out what's going on behind you. Or you can do 2 at a time.
or you could just do the front if you want to do that. This device actually has a remote that actually works. So if you want to take a picture, woo, photo taken successfully. Yeah, how about that, a remote that actually works. If your app works on CarPlay or Android Auto, then you can use it on here. Like you can take and receive phone calls, which is kind of cool if you've got Bluetooth. Yeah, so the problem that I've got is after using that the navigation device for the last year, I'm kind of hooked on them. I'm addicted to it. And the one I have is fine. I'm gonna put that device in a contest, a giveaway contest. So one of my viewers is gonna wind up with that device, and that'll be cool. It's really cool having the cameras, and it's very important. I've been preaching for years now about dash cams in your vehicle, in your car, your truck, how important that is, because you get into an accident and nobody has a dash cam, it's your word against theirs. And I have run into some liars before. Let me tell you, I have run into some liars before. In fact, I got a ticket from an Alabama state trooper that lied through his teeth about what I did, and I had footage from my helmet cam that I was filming, and he went to court and said he had video evidence. Turns out he didn't. He lied. He had a camera mounted in the back of his patrol car, a personal camera, like a consumer grade camera. He had that in the back, and he said, I looked at the footage and I couldn't see it because I didn't freaking do it. So he lied. He wrote me a bad ticket, and then he came to court and lied in court. And I brought my laptop with my footage and a screenshot, showed it to the judge. The judge was like, case dismissed. Video lock. So in theory, I haven't tested it yet, but in theory, I should have captured that the video probably from the last 2 minutes. If not, I'm going to probably go back and change the length of recording time. I think it's 2 minutes. I'm not really sure, but I think it's 2 minutes. And so every 2 minutes it starts another video. But this also has a 128 gigabyte storage, and I think you could put more in there on top of that, but I'll have to check. So 128 gigs, that's a lot of recording time. Usually I don't have cards bigger than 64 gigabytes most of the time, unless I'm going to do something really strange. I tell you, one of the most important features that I really like that I wasn't able to do with my last camera is you can turn the screen brightness up and down, which is great, but apparently you can't do it very, very low. So when I'm riding at night, I don't want to see the screen unless I'm navigating. I don't want to see the screen. So the great thing about this thing has a freaking off button on top here. And I'll show you. I think you just hold it down and boom. You can turn this thing off, which I could not do with my other one without unplugging it. I don't want to pull the seat off and unplug wires, all that crap. I just want to plug and play, man. You know? Turn it back on and it reboots. So you don't have to remember to turn the system back on. It just reboots itself. And like I said, it reboots pretty quickly. I haven't found any real flaws other than the pressure not being in PSI. But to me, it's just an alarm. I'm not looking to look at the pressures anyway. I don't really care. I just want to know if my tires are going flat, if I've got a slow leak, if I need to put air in it. And that's basically the alarm. So it's got tire sensors that tell you the pressure in your tires. So, and this is the default screen. So, and yeah, if I want to navigate It's that easy. Just hitting that screen. It's very cool, I think.
Now you may be saying to yourself, but Don, why do I need an expensive gadget to slap onto my bike? And I would say, yeah, if you don't travel that much, if you're not a big adventure guy like I am, if you're not always navigating wherever you go, you probably don't need a device to slap on your handlebars or something like that. But yeah, I think the big thing for me is number one, dash cam. I think everybody that rides a motorcycle needs to get a dash cam. So being able to record the events that happen, I don't plan on getting on any accidents. And yeah, I told you a couple of stories that should convince you that you need a dash cam, period, front and rear. And those are relatively cheap now. There's got some good ones out there. But yeah, if you do more than just ride on the weekends, commute back and forth to work, whatever. If you're more than that, then I would say I will tell you what a pain in the butt it is to mount your phone up every time you get on the bike, plug it in, and then hope that that charging cable doesn't rattle your damn charging port out, because it will. I've done it before, and I know that a lot of people have reported losing internal components of their phone, like camera, other things that come loose, just shaking, rattling like a paint shaker on your motorcycle. So I think it's a good alternative. If nothing else, get you some dash cams, and mount your phone to your handlebar. I don't care.